He's busy.
And we're live.
Hey!
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Redneck. No, it's not the Redneck from the Nuts. It's the Walking Dead Chat. Y'all got me all mixed up.
This is the episode from Sunday, the second one right in this premiere, and the title of this one was The Next World. And after last week's episode, I was exhausted watching that thing twice with them all out there kung fu. It was just non-stop action on that one. It was mind-blowing.
It was crazy last week. So this week was a good.
It's a break, kind of.
Yeah, it was a good. It was still a good episode. It was just kind of a more relaxed, kind of funnier episode, which everybody needs once in a while.
Yeah. And it was interested in the Talking Dead with that Chris I'm So Weird guy. After it, Michonne was the guest, and oh my gosh, is she not spectacularly beautiful in real life? And
how they ended that, when they ended that last scene, I was like, oh my God, she's gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm not into women at all, but my goodness.
Listen, I'm not either, but I thought, darn, I might be able to swing that way with her. And so she explained it's 2 months later after last week's episode, because I was like, oh my God, they're all so chill, you know?
Yeah, because Carl was up running around, and I was like, how long was this afterwards? Because he's up running around after just being shot in the eyeball.
He didn't get shot in the eyeball. The bullet hit his occipital bone, and it ricocheted off, but the shrapnel went into his eye. If he got shot in the eyeball, he'd be dead.
Yeah, it would have went through.
Yeah. So, and I thought this was interesting. When it opens, right, we see a knife, and they're working on a belt. And I don't know if he's making the belt bigger, right, like putting another notch in it. He would be making it bigger if he was putting a notch in it, because he could go smaller. So I just answered my own conundrum.
Yeah.
And then we see, so it's Rick's gun belt, right? So he got a little chubby, you know?
Yeah, starting to relax.
Well, they're back in Alexandria, you know, and they're rebuilding, and they got the comfort of the town again.
Yes.
Somewhat.
Wait. Who's seen the sign at Alexandria?
Yeah. Oh, yes. The sign about not marauders will be.
Welcome to the Alexandria Safe Zone or something like that.
Yeah.
Something mercy.
They're mercy for the weak, but not for the plunderers or something like that.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Mercy for the survivors, something else for marauders or plunderers. Yep, it tickled me too. And what really freaked me out was when he's working on his knife in the belt hole, is we see the picture of Carl with white gauze on his eye with Judith.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd they do that? I mean, this is the post-apocalyptic. Who's developing film? Who's spreading that crap out?
Remember Aaron took pictures that the wolves found when he went out to find Rick's group, and he showed him pictures of the wall, and he explained I kind of overdeveloped it. Remember that?
Well, I mean, they'd kind of be plenty of stuff, because that wouldn't be one of the things that you'd be worried about, is taking pictures in the apocalypse.
Well, they were clearly worried about it, Tommy.
I'm going to take a picture of this walker. I bet my mom would like to see it.
They didn't take a picture of Walker. They took a picture of Carl, known as Coral, to Rick, right? Coral. Like, it kills me.
Coral.
Yes. Coral who's never in his room. Where's Coral? He's not in his room. Well, he's supposed to be. He don't listen. Does anybody figure that out? Now, this is what... So, Michonne's there in a robe with her hair up in a towel, and she needed toothpaste, right? So she's, like, giving her list. And something came, but I couldn't understand it. And then because they had to put the stupid Better Call Saul, like they were shoving that Japanese sword thing down our throat for a while, I didn't get to rewatch the episode where she said, Denise says, I guess something about oral hygiene, I don't know, but I completely missed that, and that irritated me. And then we got Denise giving Daryl a list, remember, for meds. And like she had a line, baby clothes, the kind of important things.
Yeah, but how confusing was she when she was trying to explain what was important on that list?
Yeah, but did you see my Daryl, Mr. Foxy Fox? Totally focused, right? Totally tuned in, like he's going to Walmart, right?
Yeah.
And then she says I really found this interesting. Tara's, I want pop, and he goes, "What the hell's pop?" She goes, "Well, I'm from Ohio, it's soda pop," and he goes, "Oh." Because Tara's been talking about it in her sleep. I don't know if she wants it or she's afraid of it. But I thought that was really cool. Pop. What the hell's pop?
Yeah, but that shows how far their relationship has progressed, because apparently she's listening to her sleep.
Hello, because you're sleeping in the same bed, Tommy.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it shows how far their relationship has progressed between the two of them. Because before, it's kind of that little play to each other.
Yep. Go ahead, Moms.
Okay, how much time has gone by, how comfortable they're getting that Rick and Daryl are going out on a run, and then you have Tara and Denise together. So they're kind of, chilling. Not chilling, but the danger's gone.
We're coupling up. We're keeping house. Exactly. And how about Rick and Daryl being in a brand new fly car, not the tore up red thing.
Yeah, it was what, the Chrysler 300 they were
riding? Chrysler, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like the 2019 model or something. I was like, dang, and it was clean too.
And then popped in that music and liked to have killed Daryl.
Oh, okay. I cried. In Moms or Jason, do y'all know what song that was from back in the day? And he was like, just don't. And then Rick suggested it there.
I knew at the time. I don't know right now. I can't remember. I wrote it down, but I don't have my notebook.
How about Eugene working the gate, right? And he gives an agricultural map to Daryl, and he talks about, right now we're kind of in a drought, but everything will be hunky dunky. Hunky dunky. Who the heckle says hunky dunky?
Hey, did you happen to catch out his calves whenever he was opening that gate?
Yes!
Go, Eugene.
Yeah,
Who would have thought that?
If he'd cut off that, what's that thing called? All business in the back, party in the front?
Mullet.
Oh, if you get rid of the mullet, get out of the mullet hair game. he was looking really toned.
That makes Eugene the mullet.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because remember when he met Corey, who has the ponytail with the braids? He goes, "I respect Heath. That's it. You nailed it, Heath."
His real name is Corey.
Yeah.
Okay, well we don't deal in real life. We're talking about the dang Walking Dead.
Okay.
There's no real life here. There's no real life.
And he's like, if we can get sorghum, I mean, he's become Deanna, right? He's going to get self-sufficient and everything. And he was serious. And Daryl's like looking at him like, yeah, okay, we're going shopping.
Kind of looked at him like, what in the heck are you talking about? I don't even got a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, now this was cool. And Rick says, today's the day we find food, maybe people. Daryl says, ain't seen nobody in weeks. Maybe it's a good thing. Because remember, we got stuff and things from Rick, so it's a good thing.
Well, like they said on The Talking Dead, everybody that they found in the past few weeks has pretty much turned out to be bad.
Yeah. Well, they've switched positions. It was Rick that was like, no way, I don't want anybody in here. And now it's Daryl doing that, and Rick is like, how many walkers have you killed? So they've totally changed each other's opinions.
Yes, because Daryl's like, everything's good like it says. I mean, for goodness. Oh, and y'all were right about last week's episode. I was worried about Aaron. He was in the plaid shirt on the porch, and then his boyfriend, the guy who hurt his ankle, was standing behind him with one of those funny Jethro boots on.
Yeah.
Because I love them as a couple because they have such an intense love for each other.
Yeah, just imagine him going out with that boot on. That must have hurt or something.
And fighting the zombies. It was so awesome, man. You know? Then we go to Michonne on wall duty, right? And she sees the back of somebody walking in the woods, and so she follows him, and it turns out to be Spencer. And I thought, is Spencer going to kill himself? Because remember, he couldn't even go in after the truck. He couldn't even go in and physically fight after the truck hit the tower. He was real wimpified.
Actually, I was there for a minute that he might, just be completely leaving Alexandria.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that's what I thought too, Tommy.
Wow.
He was going to kill himself. I just figured he was just going to bail on Alexandria. Everybody that he knew died in it, and he was done with it.
Just like the one time they went over the fence with the grappling hook and tried to climb underneath it.
Yes.
But
And then it broke.
Yeah.
He wants badly to be a hero. That's what I thought. He has a hero complex, but he's a weenie. And then he was on the Talking Dead with Chris, I'm So Weird. And there needs to be less Mountain Dew or caffeine for Chris. He's just wired. It's like, I just watch it like, simmer down, simmer down. He talks so fast. Now, you and Jason get the deep stuff because the Enid sitting in the porch rocker and Maggie coming up was weird to me, right? So Maggie just walks up, where you been? I never see you. Where do you go, Enid? And she goes, nowhere. And then Maggie says, we've all been working for weeks to put the place back together, but I never see you. So, I'm around. Come talk to me. Joel, was there anything deep to that? It was just like a weird scene.
Well, Jason, maybe you know this. In the comic books, after Carol died, there was still that little girl, the one that look at the flowers, look at the pretty flowers, and it was Glenn and Maggie that took over that little girl, raising that little girl. So you don't have that in this present day Walking Dead. So I think that's Maggie kind of replacing that little girl with Enid and becoming like mom.
Enid is replacing Sophia in the comic books right now.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that too.
Yeah. So
you have that mom and dad element with Glenn and Maggie with Enid.
And see, I thought they would have already automatically become the three of them, because Maggie even pointed out, you saved me on the tower, you were with Glenn. I thought they would have already made that we're a family of three and I'm knocked up connection. And did Maggie look pregnant to anybody two months later?
No.
Really?
Okay, I didn't think so either, but it went so fast. Then the next scene I loved was the Fly Chrysler screaming by and then backing up, right, and going down the road because Daryl spotted sorghum, the word that Eugene used. We need some sorghum, right?
Yeah.
Which is a grain, right? And then, did you notice Daryl had to kind of be in control? We got to look first to Rick. And so when Daryl was opening the back of that 18-wheeler, he's had a bad experience with an 18-wheeler trailer, remember?
Yeah.
So and then he opens it and it's nothing but food. Was that beautiful? It was like, oh my God, all because Eugene. Yes, that's what I heard. Music, the sun rising, birds were singing. All because Eugene said sorghum, because Eugene had seen that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what was weird, the convenience store, they take the truck, right? But the convenience store door was locked when they pull up to the next thing, which I thought there could be a whole lot of stuff in that convenience store if the door ain't been kicked open,
Are you getting visitors?
No, that is my deer alarm going, and my driveway alarm. My husband's going to have to stand up and turn it off. He's not really looking like he's gonna. he's rising. My husband has these women who come every night as a bunch of does. It's right in front of you. Yeah.
Dinner's in the front yard.
Yeah, does like hoes. Like all your women are here. Just push it all the way down to the left. Oh, right, no left. I apologize for our technical difficulty. Okay.
No, the thing I couldn't figure out, they had a truck full of food.
Yes.
Why didn't they take that straight back?
I know.
Alexandria. That would have made a lot more sense.
They
No,
did. They
Tommy.
were going a different way back. That's what they said.
Yeah, but they
Exactly.
stopped.
Tommy.
I know they wrote it in the book or in the story that way, but why would you stop? You've got a whole truck full of supplies.
Because there was plenty of room in the truck for more stuff, and they had a list. Baby clothes, right? Pop. They had a list from Denise the doctor who saved Coral's life.
Yeah, and the smartest thing to have done was tuck the truck back, let them sort it, and you go back out on another run.
They're
Yeah,
conserving resources by going a different way home and
thank you.
still looking.
And having room for bags of grain and more sorghum, Tommy.
Yeah, and Rick kind of was like, whatever Denise wants, Denise is going to get because he said cold.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yep.
then when he said, he needed to realize, too, that this kind of angered me a little bit. Denise was there. Denise is like the original member of that town. You
Yep.
know, Rick was the stranger. Rick, you know, that whole group is coming in there. So, okay, yeah, we're going to accept her. You know, that kind of irritated me. But I like Denise from Nurse Jackie, so as soon as I
Oh,
saw her, I was like, oh my god!
you know what?
So I
She's the
like Denise.
best actress on the show when she was in that little basement step down with the wolf guy. She made me so afraid. So afraid. She was that good an actress trying to breathe. You know, with him, she's all clean. He's all funky with the green and yellow teeth.
Yeah.
She was amazing in that. And how and then rushes back to the infirmary, go, get me a gurney, get me towels. I mean, she became a doctor. She was
Yeah,
like,
and
she was a
she
little
knew that he wasn't bit. She knew that Carl wasn't bit. You know, just by looking at
immediately.
that. I don't know how she did that.
I think because she knew they wouldn't save him if he was. When they said, is he bit? And Michonne's ahead. Oh no, he can be saved. Because they have enough experience.
She knows the symptoms as well. She kind of sees how it looks because she looks in the books and stuff like that.
Yep. Yep, she'd been studying.
Michonne's
And
face, Michonne's face when she was coming through there, I was afraid. You know, that was like, oh my, because she doesn't
yes.
react.
No.
She keeps her cool she's like the ninja. You know, she just,
Yes.
that's it. And when she reacted because Carl
How
got
that
shot, that was just,
from
oh my gosh, like her world ended right there. You know, like
Yes.
I got to do it.
And there's such a machine how the minute he picked up Coral, that she took off with that knife, that machete, sword, whatever, katana, clearing a path, that they were just so in tune, you know, all of them, not just Rick and Michonne. But what I love when it was the pop machine, I didn't realize what the machine was laying on the ground that they hooked a chain up to the back of the truck. When Rick says, this is going to be a lot of trouble, and Daryl goes, ain't no trouble, because Rick didn't know at that time that Denise asked for pop.
Yeah.
You know, so that was pretty cool. And then, you know what? I thought it happened so fast, and I didn't get to watch it again because that stupid Better Call Stupid Saul irritating loud commercial was I didn't know if the guy was in the machine or he came around running the alley. The Jesus guy who had the
He came from the side of the building and deliberately ran into them.
okay, it was intentional.
Yeah, that's when he stole the key. He had to have been watching them, and then that was his attack.
Well, see, but Rick left the keys in the truck.
No, he
Oh,
put,
I thought he lifted them from his back pocket.
yeah.
No,
No, that's the reason that he bumped into him is because when he hit him, he stole his keys off of his side.
Yeah.
are you sure? Because Daryl said when he heard the truck after they did, I love the fireworks that the guy did. They're about 11 minutes behind, 6 minutes behind. It was all weird, and the fact that they didn't make him jerk off his handkerchief, right? But when the truck cranked up, yeah, Daryl goes,
Okay.
cleared that you took the keys, right? And Rick went, dang it. And I realized they've gotten soft. They ain't been on a run in a long time. It's
No,
been 2 months since
no.
they've done a
He,
run.
he grabbed his butt, his back pocket,
Yeah.
and he literally ran into Rick so that he could pickpocket him.
Gotcha. Okay. And Oily, who's that? Yeah, Oily's saying the same thing. He lifted him. He pinched him. If we were British, he pinched him. He nicked him.
They pitched his keys.
You see how y'all catch stuff? Because I didn't get to watch it a second time, you know? It's crazy. All right, so, and this
Did you
was
notice?
funny.
Do you notice whenever they watch that truck disappear and that neither one of them have a butt? Rick's
Listen,
jeans are just so saggy.
they have no ass at all. No ass at all. It was sad. But you know what? From the front, Daryl looks just fine.
Yeah, but they've been starving on the road. You know, they've been starving for months. You know, it's the whole Walking Dead thing. You know, they've been starving.
No, it don't
Okay,
matter
now,
how much weight they got. They ain't going to have a butt, Tommy. That's not their
mm.
gift.
So literally, when Daryl reached in to get that pop, he literally cut himself.
Yes.
That's where he got that injury at this week.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm back.
And
So,
this, go, Tommy.
so now we find out that Jesus has just walked onto the scene.
Run into it, and Jesus is a thief. Yep.
No,
So-
Jesus is actually, if I'm not wrong, Jason, ain't Jesus the leader of the Hilltop gang?
Maybe he's like kind of like what Daryl is, like a second-hand man.
Yeah, like the
Right.
recruiter.
Yeah.
Okay, because it was weird when he said he was running from the dead. They're 11 minutes back. And then before he leave, this is the next world. I hope it's good to you. Right?
Yeah.
That was weird. And his name's Paul Robia, but his friends call him Jesus. He had some intense eyes, right? Did anybody else notice how clean he was until Rick said, did you know, oh, do you have a camp? And they're like, no, do you have a camp? And here he is, pristine clean. He was immaculate with a trim beard.
And Daryl shampooed his hair apparently too.
But that was probably 2 months ago because I like Daryl the best when he's dirty.
I bet you do.
You know I do. I just wish it would go ahead. Hey.
Was he sporting a goatee?
He had
That
a
was
little,
new.
yes, a little something different going. Tommy, have you sent the oils a link?
She said she couldn't come in because her daughter has her laptop.
Oh, shoot. Okay, look, she got nicked, just like the truck, you know? And how about him taking off, dragging the pop machine behind him? And I love our guys are running, right? And they find the pop machine first.
Yeah. It's like the Dukes of Hazzard almost.
Yeah.
Hoping one of them would just jump on.
This, all of a sudden, from then on, once the truck got stolen, this was the Keystone Cops to me. I was like, this is an incredible cluster. Our guys have lost their edge. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Oh, well,
Right?
they're living in a town now. You know, they're not doing this on a daily basis. And for them to have a lift, they're settling down. They
Yes.
figured out what they need. They've already gone through what they have. You know, they're complacent now.
Yes. Now they're a unit. Once they all fought in the streets like that, it was weird. Then we go back to Michonne with Spencer, and Spencer looks weird. He's got the shovel along his back like she carries a sword, right?
Yeah.
And so Michonne does, right? He says he walks after his shifts like nothing's wrong, and she goes, really? Why the shovel? It's like Michonne don't miss much, right?
It's like
And
an
then they
extra-
start discussing what Deanna told him was, or told her, you know, find what you want.
Yes.
It's like, well, right now I want to find out why my friend's son is walking through the woods with a shovel on his back.
And you know, that really shocked me because I was like, wow, she really cares. You know what I mean? My friend's son. I thought that was real intense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Any significance to Enid being out there who loved to be out there before and finds like a kite, but all the writing is off the note? And she said, but it doesn't seem that old. Anything going to come of that?
Maybe it's Paul Monroe's group. Or Jesus' group. So maybe something like that to tell people that there's others here. Something like that.
Right. Yep. And see, Oily knew right away, right? While they're going to check the fireworks, I was saying, don't leave the truck. Hey, AC.
Yeah. And didn't Daryl leave the door open on the truck?
Truck, yes. Just made it easier. They got soft, Jason. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Oily asked if the Hilltop gang was Negan's gang.
No.
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 Uh-uh.
Two different.
And then Fuzz asked, since Rick is a cop, why isn't he going through donut withdrawal?
That's
Because
cold.
it's 6 years into the season.
Thank you, Moms. Yeah, ain't nobody had a donut. If I was there, I could make them up some beignets, you know what I mean?
Oh, there you go.
And then,
Hey, now, on the last episode, whenever Daryl blew up Negan's group with that bazooka, there was a white car that pulled as soon as they got blown up. So I don't know if that was like a misfilm where the car wasn't supposed to be there. And it really made me mad because Royal's boyfriend pointed it out to me, and I was like, that's a sign. And when he catches stuff and I don't, it really irritates me.
that's too funny. How
But it
about...
was only there for a second.
I think it was too
Okay.
short to be a type of something to catch or something like that. That needs to have to be important. I think it might be too short. Someone's
Gotcha.
video was talking about it.
Is a rocket-propelled grenade launcher also known as a bazooka? As Moms
That's
refer-
what I'm calling it.
Okay, so it's from now on it's the dang
Say it.
bazooka.
But
Yep.
I don't know. Do you think they're actually going to... Now, this is just me wondering. Are they just going to skip over Negan's gang now that they blew up half of them?
No.
He'll show up on the final episode of this season.
Oh no, revenge is coming, Tommy. There's a price to pay for blowing up them motorcycles.
Yeah, but how
And
are they
that's-
gonna do it? I mean, they're just all in there dead in the middle of the road.
Oh,
That's
Jeffrey
what
Dean
that
Morgan
white
is the
van-
Lightning.
It's not
They
going to be
recast
hard.
it.
Yeah, it's not going to be hard to figure out, right, who the few living are who did this. And if that was Negan is the leader, AC, of that motorcycle gang who Daryl blew up with to Moms, the bazooka, and that I called the rocket-propelled grenade launcher. So that's Negan. We haven't seen him yet, but that's his gang who was on the motorcycle blocking the road with Patty, the diesel truck.
And
in
that
the
was
first
his
episode.
group. That was Negan's group with the diabetic girl and the guy that stole Daryl's crossbow, and they were part of his group, and that's the guy that cut off his arm.
Okay, yeah,
That
and
was-
they stole Daryl's motorcycle. There's a theme going here. Hang on to your stuff.
Crossbow.
Maybe Dwight comes in, tells Negan about them, and then that's how they come in. Instead of just that one guy that survived that little massacre, and that's supposed to be Rick, Andrea, and Michonne in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Since there was this one guy that lasted, and actually Rick let that one guy live to tell him about the group. But since everyone's dead, I think it might be Dwight instead.
Okay. And it was intent. Now, this got a little weird for me when the walker was in the woods with Carl, and I didn't get to see who it was, and he knocks it down, and he goes, like, Enid's like, leave it alone, and he's like, no, Michonne's out there, and Michonne and Spencer, when they walk past, I do not think, correct me if y'all got it different, that they saw Carl and Enid sitting over there.
Nope, they didn't.
I don't think
Okay.
they did.
Okay. So he says he's not leaving that walker because Michonne's out there. So then when Michonne and Spencer hear a noise and Michonne goes, Carl? And then it comes forward and it was Deanna. Oh, my heart just sank.
Yeah, as soon as I realized that Spencer was with that shovel, like after Carl saw that zombie and they didn't show the zombie, they just started with the feet. When I saw that tourniquet, I knew it was Deanna. And I
Wow.
realized that that's why Spencer was there with the shovel.
See, you and Jason catch all the subtle things that go right past me. You know what I mean?
Poster thing or picture that it showed before, and it just showed just a little bit of the shirt and Deanna's necklace and someone's hand. It was a black hand, so that might have been Michonne. So that kind of showed a little teaser almost. So I kinda
Gotcha.
knew.
Yeah,
So I had an idea.
I have to say, Deanna made a really good walker.
Yes.
She looked the exact same.
How about his compassion when he wouldn't even let her as a walker see the knife coming? He went through great pains to hold her
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
I thought, see, remember, because his last interchange with his mom in the kitchen was horrible. Your pie in the sky when he robbed the pantry.
Yep.
So, you know, he has a lot of guilt about that, right? But then Michonne's character, right? When she carves a D in the tree, like for a headstone, and she lets him know that you still got family and a home. And he's like, I don't have any family. And she goes, I've been chasing you out here in the woods. I almost cried.
Yeah.
Well, that's getting back to that unification between the two groups. You know, Carl felt something for Deanna, like maybe a mom figure almost, and
Grandma.
that's why he couldn't kill her. But he knew, I'm going to lead them to Spencer. I'm going to lead her to Spencer so he can do it because that is his job. Like he told Michonne, I would do it for you later on.
Oh, that
You
was
know, I wouldn't want to see you like that.
Yep.
Well, he did it for Lori. I mean, he did it for Lori, so.
Now,
I'm starting to like Carl, and I don't like the fact that I'm starting to like Carl.
no, because I hated Carl because he'd never stay in his dang room. He made me crazy. He didn't listen. The bag of bones for a mother, he didn't listen. Couldn't stand Lori, so I didn't like her offspring. But yeah, when he said it should be done by family, but remember, we never saw him shoot Lori. We just heard, or kill Lori. We just heard the sound. I've always expected at some point Lori to be walking through somewhere with her bag of bones.
Because that one walker ate Lori's body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, good. Yep. And then when she hugged Carl, when he said, you know, I would do it for you like that, that was really intense. And then we end up back right at the Keystone Cops with Daryl and Rick. Now Daryl's the tracker, right? And they have to either go straight or turn right, and they spot the tire. Somebody laid rubber in the road, so they take off that way. And I love how they were topping the top of that road, and they slow down to peek over, and they see Jesus like changing a tire or something. This was so comical to me. It was insane.
It's like a bunch of weasels just
Yes.
up and down.
They reminded me of just two brothers out on a run for a day. You know, let's play a little bit. Let's
Like
see what
if-
kind of trouble we get into.
Yeah, like if you would think they were drunk, is what I would think.
Hold my beer.
Yes, hold my beer, watch this.
It kind of reminded me of the way him and Merle would have acted with each other. You know,
That Merle was
Yeah.
mean.
out in the middle of the woods, you know, just messing stuff up.
Yep. Now, did anybody expect Jesus to be the kung fu master? Karate
I
chop.
was like, holy cow.
Yeah,
He got some skills.
he was roughing up my Daryl, and I was like, oh, this is 8 ways of wrong, right?
And then the epic one-liner, do you guys even have any ammo?
Oh, boom, both of them. Yeah, the walker
Yeah.
gets hit double tapped, right, at the same time. So Jesus is a deep thinker, right? And he was not rattled, right? Not even scared. Do you guys even have any ammo for those things? Because he looked at him as a couple of clowns. It was Benny and crew, you know?
Then when they're tying him up, they're like, well, you can get loose after a while. And he's like, you know, we should have that talk y'all was trying to have a while ago. It's like,
Yes.
you just
No,
don't, we're not going to talk to you.
If you just tied somebody up, don't you think as you're pulling out, you're going to be looking in the rearview mirror to see, you know,
Yes,
if they're still
Moms.
there? Or, I'm
Yes.
telling you.
Yep.
Well, Daryl kind of did. It's like, see you later.
Well, he had to have instantly gotten out of that knot.
Well, they gave it a couple of seconds because remember, Rick got in the truck, he laid back, relaxed just a little bit, and started spinning the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
he took a couple of seconds, but then all of a sudden, he's on top.
Okay, that's my point. You know, don't you look in the mirror to see, okay, he's still back there
Yes.
when you're pulling away.
Maybe he was just
Daryl's
moving
mirror-
fast and just jumped on the truck.
When they showed Daryl, his mirror was broke.
Yes. But they showed
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, this just shows how soft they've gotten, right? Because they have not encountered anyone stronger than they are, down to Terminus, right? Carol got them out of that. So they think we're tied up, we're going to leave them, but they have compassion and leave it to where you can get out so walkers can't eat them. And that's not the thing to do. I was surprised bringing him back in the back of the car, and I love how I was like, he ain't unconscious, he's
Yeah, I
faking.
thought he was listening to everything they were saying.
And he rolls over on Daryl, and Daryl just elbows him. I thought he could hit his head on the window and get a concussion. They don't care. And then when he gets back to Denise, right, hauling him up the stairs, right, and then there's Tara, too. They wake him up. That thing didn't work out. It's this a-hole's fault. She knew immediately, the pop and candy. That was so cool. Oh.
We have one more soda can, but that was in the truck.
Yes. Now, this was my favorite line. Rick goes, it was pretty stupid to go out there. Daryl goes, yeah, do it again tomorrow. And Rick goes, yep. Just like brothers, right? That was stupid. We messed that up. Let's do it again. All right, hold my beer.
Rick's attitude reminds me of the way he used to be in, like, the first two, like, before he realized the danger that was around.
Yes.
Like, I mean, he knew it was dangerous, but, it changed him so much, and especially after Lori's death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's back to, like, okay, I just lost my love. Nobody said anything about the Andersons. The Andersons are completely wiped out. Nobody cares.
Right.
So he's back to that attitude of, I don't know, like this could work. Like, we could make this. We could, that free loving, like when he was with Shane in the car and they were just brothering back and forth. Like,
yes.
Even though it's so bad here, we're gonna say something huge, like, and not dismiss what's actually going on, but just make light of it, because that's how we survive. So he's back to that mindset.
Yep.
So he's back to the old Rick.
They're definitely brothers. Oh, God, and I loved Michonne move, right? When she wants to sit on the sofa, that like a brother and sister does, or I do to my husband.
Well, see, I said, now, look, they're acting like a married couple. I wrote that down. Here comes Michonne. They're acting like they're married.
Yeah, want to tell me about your day? Because that's what me and my husband used to do when I worked. All right, what came down for you today, right? And I get some 25, 35-minute engineering nerd, critical path story on, a project, and I'd listen like I cared, because that's what you do when you're married. And then I got to talk about my more exciting thing, like a shootout in my Section 8 property, and then a lady crying over a dishwasher breaking, and he couldn't give two fat figs, right? And then he gives her breath mints, right? That was the freaking cool. First I was like, are they lifesavers or what? But they were such a couple. You want to talk about it? No, not really. Yeah, it was just a thing. It was fun.
So you had a day.
Yes! And she had a big grin. I've never seen her relax. I don't think I've ever seen her sit down.
I thought it was funny when Rick goes,
go ahead, Thomas.
I thought it was funny when Rick goes, well, I found a guy. And she goes, me too. And he goes, you found a guy too?
Not a guy.
It's kind of like, what? You're not supposed to be looking for a dude?
Right. It was amazing. And then I had no idea what was coming. I don't remember who held whose hand, or was that when he handed her the mint?
Yeah, he handed her the mint.
He said something.
But you know what?
Like his hand down on hers, like comforting her or something.
It was weird. I was so shocked by it. I couldn't interpret it.
Whenever they first came into Alexandria, now I've always pictured she's a lawyer, she's classy, she's got some deep feelings, but she's not letting anybody know what's inside her head. She's always played that. When they moved into Alexandria and she chose to live with Rick and Carl, I thought, oh, something's going to happen here. And it took her this long to break down that wall and okay, he's making a move, I'm going with it.
Yes.
Yeah, so I saw this coming.
Oh, God.
At the beginning, they looked like a couple. It was like she was just coming out of the shower with a robe and towel over her head.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The way they talking.
Yeah.
Well, you
I saw a background interview with the two of them, and he said that she was treating him so weird. And he said to her, "What's going on?" And she said, "Did you read the script for the next one?" And he said, "Yeah," because he was only like up to like, I don't know, like the third scene or something. And he said, "It's cool, it's good, it's gonna be good." And she said, "You didn't read the end, did you?" And he said no, and he said he went to his trailer and he read it and came flying out, and he was like, "Oh my God, why didn't you tell me?" And she said, "I didn't know." And she said, "It's so weird." So it was a pretty cool insight to that week's episode.
Yes, it was groovy, but that Jesus was freaking me out, man. God. Then the kiss, then the full on, that was the most tender, exploring kind of kiss and make out, not like grabbing each other, We actually had a episode without intensity. Even I wasn't scared of Jesus killing him, you know what I mean? But it was just, the whole thing was bugging. And then when the next scene was them naked, I mean,
Oh my God, that was so artful.
her gorgeous skin, right?
Yeah.
Just spectacular. I think she's
So,
beautiful.
hey, once you go black, you never come back.
Jason,
Chase said.
yeah, you have any water you can throw in your face? It was just amazing because she's
and
gorgeous.
and it was so cool that they had his revolver on his side nightstand and her sword on her side nightstand. I thought that just screams the difference between the two of them coming together.
Yes. Oh yeah, it was amazing. And the fact that at least Rick ain't got so soft inside his house that he doesn't have his 45, and she hadn't. Remember when she hung up her sword when
Mhm.
she was a cop for Deanna? But boy, when we saw Jesus standing at the edge of the bed, Rick, we need to talk. And they both flew out of that bed. That was my heart. That's the first time my heart pounded this episode.
And I was like, oh, shit.
Oh God, Oily was waiting for Carl to walk in and find them in bed together.
I think he'd be okay with this. I hope this works out.
Yeah, I don't think Carl would mind because he kind of thinks over his mom anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Like
what did the note say that Rick left with Jesus?
I couldn't read it.
No.
I couldn't either.
Well, going by what the wall said when they left out and you could see the wall on Alexandria, I figure it would probably say something along the lines of, "I left the knots loose. You can see yourself out when you get up," or whatever.
Like, yeah, you could see us in this room if you wanted.
Yeah, and don't even knock. Just show up. We'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
Well, first
And
he'd already.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Moms.
They had guards on this guy. So he's sneaky enough to get around this guard. Because Rick had said to Michonne, somebody's watching the guy.
Yeah.
So for
But
him to show up in the room,
yes.
Yeah, Daryl was watching the guy, waiting for somebody else to come watch the guy.
Yes, with no ropes on him, and they had tied him up poorly once. They clearly learned nothing, and we needed an Eagle Scout, to tie him up like you tie a cow, or you rope a calf and tie it up.
no, see, whenever they tied him up, I just assumed that they did it loose because they didn't really want to kill him because they knew if it was tight, zombies would get him.
Now, that's when he was in the road. They didn't want a walker to eat him. They wanted him to be able to get away after they drove off, right?
Right, yes.
Well, I kind of figured they wanted him to get up and be okay because, he did save Daryl's life.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot that scene. Remember that's where it went absolutely Benny Hill, right? Jason in the truck in the wet grass. The guy's running. Daryl's chasing him. And then when Jesus said duck and shoots the walker that he could have let eat Daryl, and Daryl goes, "And that's my gun," right? And then pow, knocks him out. Yep. And then Rick goes, I mean, he did save your life. Well, y'all were stupid enough to go through. It was just stupid. But it was comical. We still needed it, didn't we?
Well, how do you? Like, he just stole your truck once. How do you jump out of the truck and don't
Without
even
your gun.
without your gun, and you don't even lock the doors?
It was a comedy of errors, just like it. Because see, we're used to the two of them when they're together handling business, right? Like Michonne and Ron from the back, right after and ricocheting his bullet instead of him killing Rick. Is for us to see everything go wrong through their own bad decisions made my mind kind of liquefy. I was like, what? Y'all have come undone, you know?
Well, you know what, too? They got that girl writer from the Twilight series. So, this just screams that she kind of wrote this episode. But I don't know that she did, but it was more like Twilighty to me. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the growth or the lack of growth between
Yes.
Daryl and Rick.
Yep.
It just screams the Twilight to me, and I thought, this girl wrote this one.
It's bugging.
So I can't remember what her name is right now.
I totally dug it because last Sunday was so freaking intense. But they got to get rid of this. They, like I said, they shoved the Japanese sword fight and stupid thing down our throats. Now they're doing it with Better Call Saul. So I didn't get to watch the episode a second time, which I do after the Talking Dead, where I tend to pick up, like, did he pop up out of the pop machine or did he come from the alley? Because I miss those things because I'm old. It's like it goes too fast. And so I didn't get to see it. But I really totally dug it. But I love them being an old married couple. I really did.
Didn't look like they were that old after a few minutes.
Listen, old people do it, Tommy. Old people still get to getting. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know. I've not been getting it in a long time. I was kind of single in my little house.
In the comic books, Dale and Andrea hook up. So, at least he's
No.
Yep.
Jason, did you hear anything about Andrea coming back? That supposedly she really didn't get turned? Or if she did get turned, maybe they came up with some kind of a remedy? Have you heard that at all?
No, I haven't heard that.
How would she come back? Didn't Michonne kill her?
No, she killed herself
No.
with Michonne sitting there.
I thought they left a gun there for her to kill herself, and they all left the room.
Yeah, and then it did go pow. She didn't want Michonne to do it. She said she could do it herself. But see, I liked Andrea for a while, but then she was just such a hoe, like sleeping with the governor, right? And then when she was so cruel to Dale about the gun, and she was super irresponsible with a gun, as it turned out, I liked that she was very pretty. She always kind of looked clean, where the rest didn't. But I thought, why do you have to make the pretty girl with the good figure kind of the hoe and the incompetent one, I didn't like that.
Oh, at least we got Maggie.
Who got Maggie?
At least we got Maggie for something.
See, I just think Maggie's cute. I don't think she's pretty, but I'm a girl.
I think Maggie's pretty. Yeah, that's a big point. And they could have, the thing that I don't get with it is I still can't get over the just goofiness of them handling the truck.
It was the Keystone Cops. Our guys have come undone, unhinged, undisciplined.
I mean, I get that they stopped at this little gas station to check for more food, but when you got a truck that full, you take it back, check on it, then you come back out later.
I was thinking just quickly shut it and just go straight home, and so no one sees it or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Get it home as quickly as possible because that's a whole truck full of supplies, not a pop machine.
But Tommy, we're working a theme here. They ain't been out in 2 months. They lost their mojo a little bit. So if it could go wrong.
Haven't seen anybody as well.
That's what
So
Daryl said. Good point,
yeah,
Jason. We hadn't seen nobody in weeks. You know?
so a
Well,
So
little bit careless as well.
they gave us some comedy, Tommy. You just got to roll with it.
I,
But
I like
what's the
those.
best part? We didn't get any rock and roll. It would have been cool if he were playing like Foghat, Slow Ride, or something, or I Can't Get No Satisfaction, right? In the CD. But we would have had sex and rock and roll then. But we got romance on The Walking Dead. When the hell's that happen?
I think it would have been funnier if they'd been playing something like the Cranberries zombie.
I don't know the Cranberries.
It would have been a little funnier.
Oh my God! But see, the rest of them would have been like, "What the heck was that? The Cranberries? Who the hell are the Cranberries?" At least it wasn't Karen Carpenter, right? Like we talked about Saturday.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I long to be close to you. Yeah. It was intense. Well, I tell you what, it was amazing to see Michonne soften up because boy, that girl can act.
Do you think Mom's just lost her internet or her phone
Or
just died?
her battery. Remember, she was running out of battery.
Yeah.
She's a portable battery bank, a power bank.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, Oily. I don't like Fear the Walking Dead yet. It's slow motion. I hate the heroin addict's son, the mom who talks in a monotone and shows no expression, the weird dad. I don't like a single character in that yet.
I kind of like Fear the Walking Dead. Oh, and plus, I like to see the beginning of SHTF or
Yep,
something like that.
movies. Mm-hmm.
It's like on World War Z. They had a moment when like a bunch of looters go into a CVS or something like that and just looting it out. I
Yep.
kind of like that type of a thing. Just it's just happening in that moment. I like to
Yes.
see how people react, and that's why I kind of like Fear. So, but since all that is kind of done, I'm not sure if I'll be liking it anymore or what. But since I like Walking Dead, it's after all that fun stuff.
Right.
I don't know.
See, Mountain Dew's terrible for you and it's high in caffeine, but they need to make them all hit some Mountain Dew before they get on there because that show needs an enema, like a colonic to spiff them up, or a whole send everybody to Starbucks to power drink some coffee. But can we get a pulse? Because I will actually like watching the second episode, go to the restroom and then forget I was watching it because it's so boring and end up doing mosaics in my craft room and go, oh, I was watching that. It was so boring. I don't even go to the bathroom during The Walking Dead. I'm afraid I'll miss something. All right, well, we've been on a little over an hour and we try to keep this to an hour.
All right. So
Okay, and for Tommy, as a reminder, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jason, next Monday, which is today Monday, Tommy?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next Monday it's 6 p.m. your time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not 9 p.m. So 8 p.m. next Monday for me and Tommy and Moms, and it'll be 6 p.m. for you, Jason, because you add a lot to the Walking Dead chat.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, Tommy.
Hello. Thanks for coming. Y'all come back now. You hear?